Jack lives in the shadows. You are quite well known for trying to push boundaries and build unbelievably innovating things.
As we mentioned, I'm very good at dancing in the grey, I suppose, rather than in the black and white.
Dancing in the grey. Okay, yeah. There's still real estate companies out there who are working off an Excel spreadsheet, essentially, which does seem like it's from 1999.
Slightly intelligent with technology.
Yeah.
You can start to use it to really implement smart things now.
Explain how Luxfolio's working on a data system, or has a data system, and how we are essentially master searching through this to match people up with phone numbers, etc.
We have one of the best systems for data in the market at the minute, guaranteed.
I know you're currently working on personal assistant bots, Luxbot and a couple of others, HR coordinator bot, onboarding bot, and just to be clear, this is not base level type into ChatGPT. You're physically asking it to do things and it's following your request. Morning everyone, we're coming to you from just between Beachfront and the Palm Jumeirah this morning on a very cold Dubai morning. We're all feeling the cold out here. We're speaking to some of the key people at Luxfolio, and we first of all are starting off with Jack Jordan, Head of Operations. Good morning, Jack.
Morning, Ricky.
Jack doesn't usually like to do these things, but he's agreed to come on. Of course, most of these podcast conversations that you'll see online are speaking to brokers, talking about commission, money earned, and more the front end of what Dubai real estate is. Jack lives in the shadows at the back and keeps the place running. So Jack, do you want to start off by just telling us who you are and what you do at Luxfolio Real Estate?
Yeah, so I'm Jack, as we know, Operations Director. Been at Luxfolio since the start, so day one, so to speak. And yeah, very much as you said, it's in the shadows. So operations is everything that makes the business work effectively. It's everything that increases speed, increases time, accessibility, how departments are built, how departments are run, how they intertwine, and anything basically that helps a client buy through Luxfolio, and Luxfolio takes some commission and the broker takes some commission.
So the boring stuff.
To some.
I actually find it extremely interesting, and we were talking before we came on here about what we can speak about, because you are quite well known for trying to push boundaries and build some unbelievably innovating things that are pushing boundaries, let's say. So I know we've got certain names for things. We've got Lexi, we've got Claude, and we've got a few other things that we're currently working on. But starting off with AI and the basics of chatbots and what we're trying to do, what are we bringing into Luxfolio? What are we bringing into the business at the moment involving AI? Because that's what everyone really wants to hear about nowadays.
Yeah, it's funny. AI is just like a common topic now, isn't it? Like across the board. We obviously started with Luxbot year and a half, sort of 2 years ago, when AI was quite new and easy, sort of.
And what is Luxbot? Explain that.
It's basically just an assistant. It's got access to the drive, so you can ask it for an A2A, a Form A, or a blank contract, and just really simple stuff. This was AI sort of a year and a half ago. And then, sort of 6 months to a year ago, we implemented an AI which actually outreaches to our current leads and reignites them, is what we call it, but speaks to them, finds out how they're getting along, whether they're still looking, spits it out to the right manager, the right broker. And that was when AI was getting a bit more complex, and you can create sort of workflows within the systems. And then now, especially this past 2 months, and you mentioned Claude, AI is very much in a position where it's an assistant now. It helps you. You don't have to think, how can I use AI to assist me? It's AI pushes to assist you more. So yeah, very exciting where that goes. Not so exciting for some of the staff, maybe.
Yeah, let's not mention too much about that, I guess. But let's talk about Claude. So Claude is the newest one that you've come up with. You're just breeding people at this point.
No, Claude's not mine. It's not what I've come up with. Claude it's out there. It's actually Claude Code. It's being used by developers and other people for quite a while. It's now just more accessible to people like myself who aren't developers, aren't straight coders. So it's a bit like a version of ChatGPT, but it helps you make things. Doesn't just answer you quick questions.
Yeah, because obviously I'm using ChatGPT, as I'm sure everyone is, but I watched you in my office the other day on Claude, and basically Jack sent it looked like a voice note, but you spoke to your phone and you said, send Richard an email with all my documents, I think he said. And within 10 seconds, I got an email to my inbox, Richard at Luxfolio Real Estate. It came through and it was, please find attached all documents. I had your passport copy, it had everything, your Emirates ID, your visa, from you just literally talking to it, right? So that's the direction in which these things look like they're going.
You no longer need to be a hardcore developer to implement new software, and especially easy AI within stuff like that. This is what Claude Code's good for. The general, let's say general, but if you're slightly intelligent with technology, you can start to use it to really implement smart things now.
But definitely from a company direction, that's where we're trying to head to.
Also, I think anyone in business now, you're a bit mental if you're not pushing AI heavily.
Yeah, of course. So we're obviously this year, Luxfolio is on a big recruitment drive, and we haven't pushed it so much over the last couple of years. We've just obviously brought key people in the business. And the reason that recruitment, we're now ready to go, obviously we've taken on a new office, but it's because the last 2 years you have been leading the way in building all of this stuff. So one of the main things that you have built is a data system, which we're careful on what we touch on, but what does amaze me is there's still real estate companies out there who are working off an Excel spreadsheet, essentially, which does seem like it's from 1999. The best that you can, staying within the realms of what we can discuss. Can you explain how Luxfolio is working on a data system, or has a data system, and how we are essentially master searching through this to match people up with phone numbers, etc.?
Yeah, so I'm sure you can remember this. We obviously come off a wedding a couple of years back now, when you mentioned that you're fed up with the data not working, I need to fix it.
Yeah.
So that was my job. And as we mentioned, I'm very good at pushing boundaries and dancing in the grey, I suppose, rather than in the black and white.
Dancing in the grey. Okay, yeah.
That's a political way of putting it.
Yeah.
Bending rules. So yeah, I just did what I do, and I just focused heavily on it. I got the right contacts, and figured everyone out, figured who and what and where these things come from, funnel it all in, creating a system which is easy to manage and easy to distribute. Obviously, there's a huge thing around speed to market. Is something I talk about a lot, but it's all right getting data or getting this product. But if it's not on the broker's desks sort of day one, day two, you're wasting your time. So it was more the speed of getting this stuff in, formatted in a nice, easy way for brokers to use it. So that was why we came up with DataHub, and we managed to get every piece of data we've ever got in there. I think there's almost 1.5 million lines of data in there, and it cross-references, it uses it.
Can you explain the cross-reference part? Because that's what interests me is what you've managed to do when searching for a potential seller or a potential landlord in a unit. Explain the cross-referencing side of that.
Well, listen, data is not whole. Without touching on the sort of data we're talking about, data has gaps. Any data has gaps, especially the sort that brokers need to find sellers and landlords with. So this sort of finds out, Jack Jordan, you brought from us on beachfront once upon a time, but you also own a marina, but there's no contact for you in the marina. We now know to pull that number from A to B. So it kind of searches the whole of Dubai. As we know, investors and landlords and all these people here, they don't just have one unit. You don't just buy one unit here and think, yeah, that's enough success, I'm done. You keep going. So it kind of pulls information from different places to fill the gaps.
So you've sort of matched A to B, connected it with C, and added a D in there, and kind of self-generating numbers at this point and matching up. I definitely think we're leading the way on that, and data is, especially behind us, we have a lot of new buildings coming up. It's ever evolving. So the fact that the system is now essentially learning from itself, because when we are adding bits of data to it, it's improving not just that building, everywhere across. So we touched on Claude. We also had Lexi. I know we've had, to be transparent, a few troubles with Lexi recently, but Lexi was a bit of a mission that you created to essentially have someone live in our CRM, which sounds a bit crazy, but do you want to explain what Lexi did, and is hopefully going to do?
See, Lexi, AI is a bit further along now than when Lexi was first built, and this comes into sort of dancing in the grey. The reason we're having problems is WhatsApp don't want you to do it. Is the honest answer. So they're very clear on that now. They wasn't so clear on it a while ago, and it was a grey area, hence me figuring and messing around in there. So it effectively lives in the CRM. It goes through, it cleans up the CRM. We had years where we weren't a CRM-based company. We didn't really care for it too much. You'd had Jack Jordan, then you'd had Jack Jordan 1, you'd had Jack Jordan 2, Jack Jordan 3, Jack Jordan 4, all different numbers, some of them without, some with email, some without. So it was basically cleaning that. It cleaned over 113,000 contacts, I think, something like that. So cleaning what's already in the system. So again, the brokers have cleaner data, something that they can access. And then in the meanwhile, it was kind of spitting out anyone who's actually, I'm still looking. All right, cool. Matt,
so it was just basically, without anyone doing anything, tell me if I'm wrong, but it was essentially just working its way through tenants, buyers, sellers, landlords. You have to do some work. Okay. Maybe you were
turn these things on.
You were controlling it a little bit, but it was making its way through, pointing it in the right direction, and it was having conversations with people. It was engaging in people. Yeah. We also seen it go slightly rogue, I think, on a couple of.
I think it arranged a couple of dates.
It arranged a couple of dates. It did go slightly off topic, but we brought it back, and it was having conversations, updating itself automatically in the CRM, and essentially it managed to take. Let's call a spade, probably not a great, not a well updated CRM. There's a lot of things that have just been left out of date, duplicates, as you mentioned, and it tidied the whole thing up, was essentially that, right?
Yeah, it's still a work in progress, but yeah, like it's a lot tidier now than it was sort of 8 months ago. So yeah, unfortunately, we did 5+ years worth of damage in this.
Yeah, but we fixed.
You fixed some tidying to do.
Jack, if an agent is out there at the moment and they're considering leaving their real estate company and moving to Luxfolio or another company, what would attract people into Luxfolio from your end, from the AI end that we're doing?
Yeah, we keep talking a lot about AI. It's not just AI. Data is a huge part. I don't doubt we have one of the best systems for data in the market at the minute, guaranteed. And we know this from people who join us on a regular basis. They come in and they are amazing. They come from big companies. They come from heavy competitors. So that's number one, and it's the start of your sales wheel. So it's a very important part. AI itself, I mean, every broker should be using some form of AI, whether it's helping with descriptions, helping with charts, whatever it may be. We've obviously got Jess, our learning and development director, who does AI classes for the general use of it. And then in terms of the stuff I do, let me build my stuff. Let me go, and it will benefit you guys. There's nothing I've built that doesn't benefit the brokers at some point. And the ones who've been with us sort of 3-4 years will see that. Their lives are a hell of a lot easier now than it was 3 years ago. So yeah, in terms of when they are looking at companies, find out what the vision is with this stuff. And there's people who want to be the biggest company. There's people who want to be the best marketed company and all this, but look who's actually building good systems that will help you do your job.
So Jack, we're talking about what we currently have.
Yeah.
And people on podcasts across the world have been guilty of talking what AI looks like in 10 years' time. But let's just talk about 6 months. Let's talk about 12. I've seen what you're doing at the minute, especially with the conversations you're now verbally speaking to our bots, let's say, and our bots are then doing things based on your command. What's the next 6 to 12 months of that specifically look like? Because it's really, really exciting.
Yeah, it's kind of new. It's a newish area into this sort of level of AI, so to speak. So it's hard to say exactly. I mean, my vision would just be me. No one else, just me and a load of bots.
So 0 employees, just bots doing everything. Okay.
Just me and 50 bots. No.
I actually know that's your vision as well, to be honest with you.
Yeah, my vision is to genuinely make things faster, easier. And of course, there is always the more profitable aspect. But if we can make it so that the people that we look after in Luxfolio have the easiest way of earning money, the more money they earn, the more money we earn. It's pretty simple. Yeah. So the easier it is for them to do it. That's all my vision is. And everything sort of 6 months time, 12 months time, how can I make that job easier? How can I make that life easier? And things come up, as problems come up, I will now fix them with AI, as opposed to what can this third party offer, or can I find someone who has this solution? It will no longer be that. It will be Luxfolio creates a solution.
And when Jack's having a laugh there and saying his vision is to have 50 bots, I know you're currently working on personal assistant bots. You've already got Luxbot and a couple of others. You're working on a HR coordinator bot. You're working on an onboarding bot. And just to be clear, this is not base level type into ChatGPT. You're physically just asking it to do things and it's following your requests. So the bots that are there right now, and where we're going to be to in hopefully 6 months, what can we directly ask it? What can you say on your phone to a bot? I know you sent me an email the other day with your documents. Where are we going to get to that you can ask it, verbally ask it, and it does it? Explain that.
It's sort of anything that can be done on a computer. It's not at a point, I mean, there is AI phone calls and stuff like that, but they're very obvious. It's not at a point where it can communicate via phone to people. It can't ring up and book a viewing or something like that. Not yet. But I mean, outside of work personally, obviously I'm getting married next year. I got my PA bot, as you want to call it.
You're so happy when you're talking about your PA bot, but yes.
I got a list of 30 photographers and videographers from my wedding planner. Couldn't be asked. Put it straight into it. It found all the websites, Google reviews, shortlisted it to the 10 with the best Google reviews, the most reviews, and then I just followed a few of them and picked one.
And you've managed to, or you're managing to sync them into now reminders, as in like Apple reminders on your iPhone.
Yeah, I've got so that tasks, Gmail, calendar, the Google Drive, which is good because that's what we run on. It's where all our information is. And this is hosted locally, so no one's information is not safe, which is an important part for anyone who understands it a bit more.
Yeah.
You know, my personal stuff as well, my personal drive. Yeah, it's pretty much integrated with everything. I've not integrated quite yet with Salesforce on the PA side of things until I'm a bit more confident I'm not going to cock it up, is the honest answer.
But you're now not writing emails. You're saying with your voice to send an email with documents, whatever, and it'll pull the documents out, send the email, attach it. You're not writing WhatsApps because you're WhatsApping
No,
now.
I do it does do them.
You say that, but I'm also seeing WhatsApps being sent out in various group chats that I know that you've just asked your bot PA to send for you, right?
Yeah.
We're going to get it into Salesforce. We're going to get it into the other sales screen and a few other companies that we look at. So basically what you're saying in the next 12 months is we ain't going to have to use a keyboard. We're just going to tell our personal assistant bots to do tasks for us.
Yeah, I mean, you know a bit more. You've got an actual personal assistant. Like, it's hard to know what to use a personal assistant for when you're not used to it in life. But the more you start thinking of that's mundane, I don't want to do that, let me pass that over, it gets that a little bit easier on what I need this PA to be able to do. Do you know what I mean? I don't actually get to write emails, but I get, as you do, 20, 30 spam emails an hour or whatever. It just tells me now when I get an email I need to see and a quick overview of it and do you want me to reply yes or no? Like, so it's just making life easier. But that's just for me at the minute. Obviously, I'm going to implement it for you, Aaron, Chris, and then eventually it comes down to the brokers. And
I did like your one the other day where you had loads of emails and you just asked it to prioritize the emails. Somehow it read all the emails and came back with basically a summary of your inbox, didn't it? Which was quite cool.
There was 2 emails that was worth replying to, yeah. But that's unfortunately, I do get a ton of spam emails, so yeah.
Awesome. Well, look, just to end that one off, guys, thanks for jumping on, Jack. I know you don't usually like to do this. And if you are at another real estate company or you're thinking about joining us, and if you're out there and you're working on Excel spreadsheets or you're in some archaic CRM trying to dig numbers out, what are you doing? Come to Luxfolio and let us show you a little bit about how we are leading the way and with cutting edge technology to try and make your job as easy as possible.
Yeah, come and ask to see it. We'll show you. We'll show you around.
Awesome. Thanks, Jack.
Thank you.